With as much rainfall and mild temperatures as we've had this summer in Oklahoma, the dandelions are coming on a little bit early this year and in full force. And if you have a lot of dandelions already showing up in your lawn, or if you have a large area that have dandelions in it, you may want to consider using a herbicide. Keeping in mind though that the best defense against dandelions and these other weeds is a good, well-maintained turf. So you may not have quite the dandelion problem you would have if you've got a thin turf showing up this time of the year. If you want to use herbicides though, be sure that you use a material that is specifically formulated to control dandelions and other broadleaf weeds. Now later on in the fall we're going to be having chickweed and henbit and some of the other broadleaves show up also. You may want to come in later and do a cleanup spray for that. But while the dandelions are young, now is the time to do it. I like to use a material that is in what is referred to as the amine form as opposed to the ester form. The ester form is much more volatile. The amine form is a salt type of herbicide and you don't have the volatilization, so you won't get as much damage to trees and shrubs or movement in the air as you will with the ester. So you may want to check the container and be sure that it says the amine form. Be sure that you follow label directions, that you measure according and mix according to label directions. I think a good container to use for applying a lawn herbicide such as the Dandelion Controls is just the hose-in sprayer. But also note that on this one I've got marked herbicide so I don't get it mixed up with another sprayer that I may be using, because this does have residue that will carry over in the sprayer and damage other plants if you use this sprayer on your other plants later on for insecticides or other materials. But there are also other options to controlling dandelions, and while now is the time to do it with a spray material, now is also the time to employ those other options. And Sue has some tips for you on other methods of dandelion control, particularly if you only have a few dandelions or a small area.
If you just have a small lawn, you can use what my dad always called the S&P method, and that means stoop and pick. It doesn't take very long if you go out periodically and dig a few of the weeds that you have in your lawn, such as crabgrass and chickweed and dandelions. But one caution that you want to keep in mind with dandelions is that it is a perennial. It does have a taproot. Now this is considered a small taproot by many standards. A dandelion taproot can go as deep as 3 feet into the soil. If you're planning on digging dandelions out of the soil, this is a very good tool to use. A lot of people call it a dandelion digger or a weed fork. The problem with it is that you need to get at least 3 to 4 inches of that taproot in order to ensure that the dandelion does not sprout new leaves down below the soil line and resprout again. The dandelion is a perennial. One good thing about controlling dandelions this time of year is that there are many, many small ones sprouting up around the lawn, especially in thin areas. It is a cool season perennial. The new ones are coming up now. They're just in a rosette form. They have not formed much of a taproot. So if you're going to use digging, do it this time of year and get the jump on them before next spring. Now as you dig dandelions, if your lawn area or parts of your lawn look like this, your problem is more serious than just an occasional dandelion. If you have dandelions and crabgrass and chickweed invading the lawn is not a healthy one. Make plans to do some major renovations this fall. Maybe level that area, add some topsoil to it, overseed this fall, and or plan to resolder the warm season grass next summer so that you can have a good healthy lawn and avoid some of these weed problems.